With so many detox supplements flooding the market, it's easy to feel overwhelmed with options. As a mature woman, prioritizing your health gets increasingly important and challenging. In this video, we'll unravel the mysteries of Chlorella. It's a potent natural detoxifier that works wonders in your body. No more guesswork. Stick around so that you can make informed choices for your well-being. And if you're new here, I'm Dr. Gayla Gorman, a licensed acupuncturist, naturopath, and author of What's Your Kryptonite? On this channel, I'm here to help you reverse the effects of chronic stress so that you can cruise through midlife and beyond symptom-free, so that you can put an end to common midlife symptoms like chronic fatigue, insomnia, mood swings, issues with gut health, and even weight gain. So, Chlorella is typically consumed in a little green tablet of some sort, maybe even a capsule. And it is possible to consume Chlorella in a liquid. Some people find that that's easier. Just know that you can find Chlorella in multiple formats. Chlorella works really well in the human body for detoxification. It actually binds to toxins. It also promotes good gut bacteria, and we all could use some help in that regard. Another thing that really is a side benefit of Chlorella is that it's a fantastic antioxidant. And so we are constantly being bombarded with toxicity, and anything that we can consume that works as an antioxidant is going to be helpful for us. To find the best source of commercially available Chlorella, I pulled up this article for you. Just know that products typically contain a variety of nutrients that are essential for humans. Chlorella often has good quality protein, dietary fibers, and polyunsaturated fatty acids. Chlorella products also contain vitamins D2 and B12. This is often absent from the diet of people who eat primarily plant-based, so Chlorella could be a really good addition there. Also, people who eat plant-based tend to eat a lot of raw foods, and those raw foods often come with a lot of toxicity, unfortunately, and so you definitely need something to make sure you're binding those toxins so they can be moved out. Chlorella also has a disproportionate amount of folate and iron compared to other plant-based foods, and so that can be really helpful to improve essentially the nutrient density of a plant-based diet. There's really mounting scientific evidence of the health benefits of Chlorella, and they even recommend taking or using Chlorella daily. And I will say that if you have been around my world for an extended period of time, you know that I don't recommend taking any supplement long term, with the exception of supplements that are essentially diet enhancement. And so Chlorella could be thought of as a diet enhancement. If your diet is lacking, then including Chlorella might be something that you want to consider doing pretty much every day. So just know, as a food enhancement, Chlorella qualifies. Sometimes Chlorella is confused with spirulina. And so the important thing to understand about Chlorella and spirulina is that Chlorella is primarily a binder, while it can also increase your protein consumption. Spirulina is primarily used as sort of a protein booster, and it also has some of these other benefits. So sometimes you can get a combination that has Chlorella and spirulina in it, and you might want to consider that as well, just again as a diet enhancement if you feel like your diet is lacking. You can get good high quality organic Chlorella or spirulina. One of the doctors that I went to many years ago, decades ago at this point, was a chiropractor, and he would not adjust you if you hadn't consumed some sort of protein that would essentially give your body the raw building blocks it needed to be able to hold those muscles in place that was going to require that your blood quality be improved so that blood could nourish all of your infrastructure. So just know that protein is not an optional nutrient. Your body really needs protein. You don't have to get it from meat. You can get it from plant-based foods like we've been talking about here, but making sure you're getting enough protein is critical. In fact, protein is one of the 7 ways that we use to initiate a human energy system reboot. So just know that protein is very important. You can get these types of compounds in leafy greens, think spinach and kale, but for a lot of people it's just easier to make sure you've got it on hand in tablet or capsule form because it's just easier to make sure you get your daily dose essentially. Again, to make sure you're using high quality organic supplements. Going back for a minute to how chlorella actually works in the body, this hard cell wall that is the part of the compound structure for chlorella is what binds to the heavy metals, and this hard wall allows it to basically make its way through the digestive system intact. So really important that you get high quality chlorella, and that if you're going to consume it and put it into your diet, that it's helping you get the job done. You may find that you want to use some alternatives for chlorella, and with Oriental medicine we tend to use other binders that help us get to the root cause of this accumulated toxicity in the body. One of those is cilantro. Cilantro is a really great binder and something that's easy to incorporate in your food. Parsley also is really great. Whenever I was juicing regularly, I always threw a handful of parsley into my juice. So parsley is another one of those things that's virtually tasteless and easy to just chop up and add into a salad. It's a great antioxidant and provides liver support. There are some other herbs that we commonly use in Chinese medicine for detox support and for what we refer to as drainers, but this gives you a good, just quick idea of the things that you can find really handy right in your kitchen, or these chlorella and spirulina that are easy to get your hands on. Chlorella is helpful if you have a buildup of heavy metals, but it can lead to disappointment if that isn't the type of toxicity that's built up in your body. So using the wrong detox protocol often creates more stress in the body as toxins are mobilized. So just know that chlorella is going to want to bind to those toxins, but there are certain things it binds to better than others, and we tend to create a detox protocol and use different things depending on what you've got going on. So if you have an expectation of really improving your health and that's not happening, adding chlorella and spirulina, then you know that you haven't gotten a good match for the protocol with what you've actually got going on. This is just an example of one of the countless ways stress creates symptoms and other health issues, especially during midlife. I created a video that shows you how to eliminate these symptoms naturally, so I'll make sure to link to it below this video. But make sure you hit subscribe too, because I share a lot of tips when it comes to dealing with stress that's become toxic. Relieving the nasty symptoms stress creates makes cruising through midlife a breeze. So I've given you a few ideas of the benefits of supplementing with chlorella for detoxification, but let's just go over it for a minute because there's a couple more here that I want to add. We talked about the fact that it's a binder for toxins, but there's also something known as chlorella growth factor, CGF. And so in higher doses, it can help reduce cholesterol as well. So again, this is just one of the ways that it's supporting the liver and gallbladder detoxification process. Just know that this is a nutrient-dense, safe alternative. Essentially, it's a healthy food that you can use to act as a natural remedy. So a few cautions if you're considering supplementing with chlorella for detoxification. One is If you do take it in larger doses, or if you've really got some toxicity that it's going to start binding to, just know that you may feel a little nausea or even have gas and bloating. That tends to be short term, but just know that that is definitely a possibility, honestly, with any detox protocol. The other thing we typically find with a detox protocol is what's known as a Herxheimer reaction or Herx reaction. And this is essentially your body trying to manage a lot of toxicity. What happens with a detox protocol is that all these toxins get mobilized. Your body has stored them, and we can honestly typically see the places where our body has stored it. And you know you want to move that up and out, but when we basically pull it out of where it's been stored and get it mobilized into your bloodstream, in the short term, you're going to feel flu-like symptoms, typically a little achy, maybe even a headache. And I just encourage you to roll with it, because if you use a symptom suppressor to offset this Herxheimer reaction, really you're just adding more toxicity and you haven't done yourself any favors. So do this when you know you've got the energy to be able to roll with it. I will also say that this is one of the reasons why I tend to introduce things in phases and have a certain process. So if you've got some kind of serious things going on, maybe have tried a lot of different things that haven't worked, or you know you really need help, then you are on the right track. You should not try to just do this on your own, because stirring up those toxins is not something you want to do without having a really good plan. Also know that if you're on any sort of medication, that the chlorella or spirulina even are going to see those as toxins. And honestly, any drainer or binder is going to see the medication as toxins, because it is a toxin. It's a chemical, essentially. And so you want to make sure that you take any medication at least 2 hours away from any of these protocols that you're introducing. Otherwise, it's going to be really difficult to manage the dosing of that medication. And the hope would be, as your situation improves, that you can titrate or reduce the dose. But if we're not sure how much of that dose has really gotten into your system, because you've basically taken some binder that's pulled it out before it even got started, then you really won't know what you need to adjust, and your prescribing doctor will have a very difficult time helping you manage that. So if your best efforts to live a healthy lifestyle and do all the things you've been led to think are supposed to work aren't getting the job done, you may even be feeling like you take 2 steps forward and 3 back. In my next video, I'll show you how to manage the toxic stress that's sabotaging your efforts. You can eliminate the symptoms that seem to be piling up in midlife naturally, without medication, crazy diets, intense exercise, or any other unsustainable lifestyle hack.